Hey, it's James Glass, and I'm working on my tiny home today, and I wanted to show you a few things about the triple insulated walls. Um, the walls are about 9.5 inches thick. You can see the depth of the wall pretty well here, and I achieved this by framing two walls next to each other. So this is the exterior wall, and this is a 2x4 wall on 16-inch centers. And then I came back 1.5 inches, and here's another exterior wall, 2x4 on 2-foot centers. And I filled the entire space with insulation. So I happen to have a whole bunch of R13, so the exterior wall is all R13 unfaced. Then I have a layer of R8 in the gap, and then I have another wall that is R15. So I have R13, R8, and R15. And there's nothing in this outside wall. There's no wiring, there's no plumbing. Obviously, it would freeze here in Virginia. Nothing. This is just all insulation and framing. There's nothing in this space except insulation. And then I do have all my wires on the interior exterior wall. And so I'm getting R30 plus walls out of this. And a little history here, I bought a single wide 14x80 trailer that was approximately 1,035 square feet and gutted it to nothing, literally the frame. I left the subfloor and the 2x6 joists. I added an additional subfloor for 1.5 inch thickness of subfloor for structure, because I plan on moving this thing in 15 years. I did leave the original 2x4 walls, and I did leave the trusses. But the trusses were crap, just crap on a stick. I'll show you back here. They were cut down 2x2s. And what I did was I built my own truss next to the truss. And the building inspector is cool with this because I left the truss that was signed off by the PE and just simply added a truss that, even though it's not PE certified, it's clearly stronger than the original truss, as you can see. And in this space, in these triangle gable roof trusses, I'm able to get about R20 all the way to R60 up at the top. And over here, I'm able to get about R20 to about R35 up at the top. But the walls, and then underneath I will put R19. I'm not terribly worried about underneath because the house is so airtight. Had to add an energy recovery ventilator. The house is so freaking airtight with the double subfloor and all the insulation. I've got Tyvek where I'm ripping off all the siding, putting new siding on, and putting house wrap on the house, and then I've caulked before I've mudded. And so with the triple insulated exterior walls, the incredibly well insulated ceiling, R19 in the bottom, there's no convection, there's not going to be any chimney effect. I'll also, underneath in the 2x6s, I'll put the R19 fiberglass underneath and then seal the bottom with Tyvek. So this house will be super, super tight. But yeah, I wanted to show you guys the triple insulated exterior wall. I've heard this wall called the Saskatchewan Wall because apparently up in Canada they had done something similar back in the 70s where they laid a 2x8 plate at the bottom and a 2x8 at the top, and then they alternated. They did 2x4 framing, on 16-inch center. But they offset at 8 inches, so there was no thermal bridging. And I think a better version of that is to use two 2x4 plates at the top and bottom, so you don't even have thermal bridging on the bottom plate or the top plate, and then fill this gap with this R8. This R8 goes right up into the ceiling insulation, and then I spray foamed all around the band before this went in for acoustics and thermal. And then the R8 tucks in really nicely down here in the bottom plate. See that? So These are badass walls, and I'm expecting to be cozy summer and winter, nice and cool in the summer and nice and warm in the winter. Well, that's it. That's my triple insulated wall in my super insulated tiny home, which is a converted single wide trailer, and that's that.